So hi everyone, welcome to the another session of bash scripting or self scripting, whatever you want you can say. So here in this session, we'll be looking into exactly what is file system and what exactly the file permission means and exactly how does this work. So why I'm covering this part because file permission, understanding file permission and understanding the file system is very much important for understanding exactly how the shell scripting is working. And to get a deep diver into shell scripting, you need to learn this point. So let me try to explain you exactly what does both the things means. At first, file system. File system, you can say this is a kind of a structure which is organized with the collection of files and folder, and it determines control over data. For example, how data is to be stored and retrieved. So this is exactly what comes under the file system. And I'm not going to get into the diver part, but cover some basics. Try to cover some sort of basics as well. So whenever you talk about Linux, I'm not talking about Windows. I'm talking about Linux. So whenever you talk about Linux file system, this is basically in the format of tree structure and tree-like structure, which comprise a lot of directories. And these directories are just the files containing the list of other files. Linux makes no difference between the file and directories, and all the files in the Linux file system are known as directories. And these files are categorized into some sort of three parts, you can say. So the three parts is basically first one is ordinary file. So what does exactly ordinary files means? Ordinary files that contain data, text, image, and program instructions. Another type is special files. The special files basically means this is a file that give access to the hardware devices. And third and last is directories. So basically, directories is something that contain both the ordinary and special files. This is exactly the hierarchy, the things that we have into the file system. So let's have a look into the Linux file system, and we'll be listing out all the files and directory that we'll be having on a specific path. So we are on desktop. We'll be looking into exactly the list of all files and directories through command line and what are the permission that is being allocated to them. So right now we are on desktop. As you can see, desktop is there and this is a file. So to check out the files that we have onto the desktop, we simply type ls, and this is will give you output of exactly uh, the things that you have, either file or directory, whatever you have onto the specific path. So in my case, I am on desktop, and the files or directories that we have is desk and test.sh, which is this is a directory and this is a file. Why this is not showing? Because this is a system built-in things, and this is the thing that we have made recently. So here we'll be typing ls minus l for checking out with a specific permission that is being allocated. So as you can see, there are specifically 7 columns in this first line. You can see there is 7 column. This is the first one, second, third, four, five, 6 and 7. So this is basically that we have the 7 column into the uh, this exactly screen. You can see both the lines is having the 7 columns. Why exactly 7 column? Because each and every directory is, whenever you are listing the permission, you will be getting the 7 column. So let me try to explain exactly uh, what is the specification and what is the use of all these 7 columns. So let's get on the whiteboard. I'm very bad at drawing, but I'll just try to tell you the things. Yeah. So the thing that we have on the screen is this one. Okay. So uh, when you see this one, the lines that you have, or you can see lines on the starting. These are the lines, that two lines is there, two line there, one line, one line, two line, one line here and one line. Exactly, this is something we call as the regular file. uh, when they're starting, like whenever you go through the directories of file, it always start either with a D or either with a dash. So dash means regular file, D means directory. So I hope this is clear for you. So, and basically, if there will be any line like this one, if there will be any line like this one, then exactly this is means the link. Okay. And if there will be anything which is written with a C, this basically means the special files. If there will be S, this is mean the socket. If there will be P, this means name pipe. And if there will be, then this means the block devices. So the first column basically represent the file type and file permission. Every file row begins with a file type, then specify the access permission that you can see, the access permission that it has, and which is basically associated with this file, which it will last. So these are the special characters that I told you right now. Uh, so this is the first thing. We have covered this part, exactly what is this regular expressions means. Okay, and X is for execution, W for write, and R for read permission. What exactly this one? This one is you can say represents the number of the memory blocks that it stores onto the devices. Third column that we have is basically means and represent the owner of the file of the super user who has the administration power. Super user is something that someone who can do anything on the system. They can change the file system as well. Fourth column that we have represent the group of owner or super user, you can say. The fifth column that we have is exactly represent the file size. Sixth column is something that you can call the date time when the file was created and last modified. So this was created on 22nd of December, and this was the time on which it was created. Like here we can see today was 12th of January. So yesterday actually before 12 p.m. So we have created test.sh. So this is the date and time, date January 12, and this is the time on which it was created. And this is the last column represents the name of the file of the directories that you can see here. So this is the breakdown of this specific thing. uh, File type. Then now we'll be looking into exactly what is file permission. So in despite of exactly file permission, let me type out here. We are covering file permission. File permission is very important, so I assume you are just learning on the with a full focus on itself. In despite in Linux of having the best security feature, Linux operating system require file permission to secure its file system. So as there are file permission based issues that occurs when a user assign improper permission to the file and directories, this issue may cause malicious or accidental tampering of the file system. So Linux secure its file system with two authorizations attributed, which is permission, and second thing is ownership. So here you can see RWXR. What does it mean? R is basically means the permission by which you can view the content of the file, which is called read. W is the permission by which you can modify the file of the content. modify the file content, which is called W, and X is basically represents by which one can run the program, file, or a script. So X is for execution. So if you there is no execution permission. If you like to execute this file test.sh, this will not going to execute. Why exactly? Because it says permission denied, and it doesn't have the X, which means execution. Second thing that we need to focus on exactly what is ownership. Okay, so there are three types of Linux users, as we all know, and if you don't know, then this is what we have. So let me try to explain you exactly what are the three types of ownership that we have in Linux. So first that we have ownership is the owner itself. Owner is basically, we can call the super user who create the file. So here I have created this one, so I can say I am the owner of the file, and he can access all the permissions associated with the file that include reading, modifying, running, and file. Second thing is the group. So group is known as a set of users of multi-users. You can say the super user create it, and every member in a group has the same access permission which is associated with the file. And third one is basically the simple one, which is called other users. So basically the other user, this is a third party user that can be anyone else who doesn't belong to the super user or group members. They use the permission which is associated with any file or directories which are created or owned by the super user group member. So let's understand all this concept by an example. So here you can see the first column, this one. Here the dash, basically the first, this one, as you can see, this represent the file name. This is a file which is called test.sh. If this will be directory, this will be denoted with D. Like here you can see this is desk. So this is a directory and represent with the D. This is the file, as we can see. So it start with the dash. Now the next three slot, you can see read write and RW and dash written. This specify basically the permission which is used by the signed owner, and these permission include read and write, and here the execution permission is denied for sure because X is not written over there. Now the next three slot that you can see is uh, specify the permission which is used by the three, which is basically you can say uh, group members, which is used by the group members who own the directories. So these permission include the read only permission and do not have the permission of write and execute. And now the next three slot is basically specify the permission which is used by the third party users. These permission include read only permission, and here write and execute, both the permission have been denied. Now the question is, like, this is how the things has been denied, what are the permission which is not allocated, so how we can change the permission. So now exactly we'll be looking into how to change the permission. So for that, let's clear out the screen. Let's do ls minus l to show you what are the permission which is previously assigned to the specific user group or owner. So the basic operation for changing the permission is, like, we know the order. First one is the user, another one is the group, and third one is the others. So here we use a command which is called chmod. So this is there is a very basic format to remove and add any specific for any classes, we need to type chmod. Then you need to go to the class that we have. After that, you need to type out the operator. Then you need to go to the permission, and then at last you need to type out the file name. So this is a very basic example that we can go through it. Uh, I'll explain you later, but first let's see exactly what I'm typing out there. UZOA, then we'll be adding the permission by plus sign and minus. Then again, there is let's say read, write, and execute permission is given, and then is file type. Okay. So where there is the class is represented by the indicators of UZO and A, such that U for the users, G is for the group, and O is for the others, and A is for all classes. So we are specifying everything that we are assigning permission to the class of user, group, others, and all the classes. Then this is the operator that I told you. Second one is the operator. So yeah, second column is for the operator. So in operator, we have given the permission plus over minus. What exactly this means? So this is used to add and remove the permission. Third one is the permission that we need to give. So we have given RWX, read, write, execute. So this will allow to access for reading, modifying, and running the script representatively. So let's alter some permission of the script that we have. So at first we'll be doing a basic thing that we need to will be add the denied permission for all the classes. So for that, uh, first step is writing out the command. So we'll be typing chmod space a, then plus x. What exactly this means? A is for all the classes, and x is basically for the execution. So we'll be giving all class execution. Then uh, for others, we'll be giving write permission, and at last, this is the two permission that we need to give. Then we need to specify the file name that we have is test.sh. So it's done. Let's try to check. So here you can see the permission has been allotted, and uh, for all we have given execution permission. Okay, here you can see, and for others we have given the write permission. So now the question arises, to remove the write and execution permission for other classes, what we need to do. So here is another example for that. You need to type out the command chmod. So for others, we'll be removing the write, others minus w, and then we'll be removing others minus x for execution for the others. So here what we'll be doing, we'll be removing the write and execution permission for other classes. So other O for other minus W is for write classes will be removing. Others minus X is for execution. Minus basically means removing, and plus basically means adding. And then we need to type out the file type, file name. Here we go. ls minus l. Yeah. So for others, W has been removed, and for uh, Simply we have removed the execution and write permission for others. Okay, so here you can see the third column, which is for the others, I believe. So this is exactly how the things is working. And now let's see you into the next tutorial with some more amazing tutorials and the things that we need to cover out into the best scripting file. So let's see you there.